The fire's out now, the smoke is still hanging in the air, and the adjuster is standing in what used to be your living room with a clipboard and asks you one simple question: what did you have in here? And you open your mouth to answer, and nothing comes out because you lived in that house for 11 years. You don't remember every lamp, every pair of shoes, every tool in the garage, every dish in the cabinet. Nobody does. That moment, standing there trying to remember your own life from memory, is the moment this video is about, and it's completely avoidable. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jim Eddington, and my agency helps individuals and businesses with their insurance every single day. Let's talk about home inventories. Here's the part most people don't know until it's too late. When you file a contents claim, whether it's a fire, a burglary, a burst pipe, whatever it is, the big part of the process falls on you. Documenting what you had, what was damaged, and what it would cost to replace. The carrier isn't going to walk through your house from memory. They're going to ask you for a list, item by item, what it was, roughly when you bought it, roughly what it cost, and ideally some proof that you owned it. And whatever you can't remember or can't prove, that's money you're leaving on the table. And there are claims where an adjuster writes a check for a fraction of what the person actually lost. Not because the carrier was being difficult, because the homeowner couldn't remember what was in their own house after a traumatic event. That's a rough day, and it's the wrong day to start building the list. And here's something most homeowners don't realize until they're in the middle of a claim. When the adjuster comes through after a loss, they're often in and out in an hour. They're not familiar with your house. They don't know what was in the drawer on the back of the kitchen peninsula. They don't know what was on the top shelf of the garage. They don't know what was stuffed in the linen closet. Your inventory isn't just proof of ownership. It's the checklist you use to audit their list when it comes back to you. You compare the two, you flag what's missing, and for items valued lower than actual replacement cost, you push back with a link to a comparable product. That review process can meaningfully increase the accuracy of the final claim payment. There are two methods we recommend, and you can use either one or both. Both are free, both take a couple of hours on a Saturday. Before I get into the detailed versions, let me give you the bare minimum version first, because the best inventory is the one you'll actually do. If you do nothing else after watching this video, do this. Pull out your phone, walk through every room of your house, film everything you see, and upload the video to the cloud. Google Photos, iCloud, Google Drive, whatever. That's it. It takes 10 minutes. It won't catch what's inside boxes or storage bins, but it will catch 90% of what's visible in your house. And it's infinitely better than doing nothing. Do it once a year or anytime something major changes. If that's all you ever do, you're already ahead of most homeowners. Now, the fuller methods. Method one is the detailed video walkthrough. You take your phone, you open every closet, every drawer, every cabinet, and you slowly narrate what you're looking at. These are my winter coats, this is my wife's jewelry box, this is my tool chest, Milwaukee M18 drill, impact driver, circular saw. You talk through the serial numbers on the big stuff. You film the inside of the refrigerator, the contents of the pantry, the garage, the shed, and you pull open the drawers. Method two is the written inventory. A spreadsheet, a notes app, or one of the free home inventory apps, it doesn't matter which. Room by room, you list the items, the approximate purchase date, the approximate cost, and you attach a photo. For the higher value items, you add the serial number and a copy of the receipt if you still have it. The video is faster, the spreadsheet is more complete. If you do both, you've done better than almost every homeowner in the country. A few practical tips on the detailed walkthrough. Do it in daylight or turn every light on. Move slowly. The mistake is rushing through and ending up with a blurry clip that proves nothing. Open the drawers, pull the clothes apart in the closet, pop the lids on the storage bins. If there's something valuable in a case or a safe, take it out, film it, get the serial number on camera and put it back. For an average 3-bedroom house, the whole thing takes 30 minutes to an hour. And here's a trick that works surprisingly well for the spreadsheet side, especially if you're trying to reconstruct what's in the garage or a workshop. Walk the aisles of the store where you'd actually buy that category. Garage and tools, walk AutoZone, Lowe's, Home Depot, Harbor Freight. Kitchen, walk a home goods store. Bedroom and linens, The same thing. Seeing the items on the shelves jogs memory in a way that staring at a blank spreadsheet never will. You'll remember things you forgot you owned. Most of what's in your house falls into one bucket. Normal household contents, furniture, clothing, small appliances, kitchenware, electronics under a certain value. For all of that, a video walkthrough and a rough count is enough. You don't need a receipt for every fork. But there's a second bucket, and this is where people get hurt on claims. Jewelry, firearms, fine art, collectibles, high-end watches, musical instruments, cameras, sports equipment like bikes and golf clubs. Items in this bucket are often subject to special limits or category limits inside a standard home or renter's policy, meaning the policy will only pay out a certain capped amount for that category, no matter how much you actually had. For anything in that second bucket, two things matter. First, document it with photos, serial numbers, and appraisals where appropriate. Second, and this is the conversation to have with your agent, ask whether it should be scheduled on a personal articles floater or a scheduled personal property endorsement. Scheduling an item can often raise or remove category limits, and depending on the carrier and form, it may also provide broader coverage and different deductible treatment. For the right items, it's worth it. For the wrong ones, it's not. That's an agent conversation. And if you own firearms, we see a lot of this, serial numbers matter, not just for insurance, for recovery if they're stolen. One more thing that ties directly into your inventory: actual cash value versus replacement cost. If your contents are written on an actual cash value basis, the carrier generally pays what the item was worth the day before the loss, with depreciation coming off the top. A 10-year-old couch is not paying for a new couch. Replacement cost coverage is generally the better option, but the way you collect on it is by documenting what you had. Good documentation supports the claim and helps you recover what the policy owes. This is the part people get wrong even when they do the work. They make the list, they take the video, and then they save it to the desktop of the computer that's sitting in the house that might burn down, or the filing cabinet in the garage. Your inventory has to live somewhere that survives the loss. Cloud storage is the easy answer. Google Drive, iCloud, Dropbox, OneDrive, it doesn't matter which one. Email it to yourself. Send a copy to a family member in another state. Put it on a thumb drive in your safe deposit box if you want a physical backup. The rule is simple. If the thing that destroys your house would also destroy your inventory isn't doing its job. A home inventory is not a one-time project. It's a living document. The rule we give clients is once a year, and then again, anytime you make a significant purchase, a new TV, a new piece of furniture, an engagement ring, a new rifle, a new laptop. 5 minutes at the time of purchase beats 2 hours of trying to chase it down later. And if you're renting, I need to talk to you for a minute specifically. Renter's insurance is cheap, but renters almost never do the inventory step. They think that they don't have enough stuff to bother. And then a pipe bursts in the unit above them, or the building next door catches fire, and they find out that not much stuff actually adds up to $20,000 or $30,000 when you count the bed, the couch, the TV, the clothes, the kitchen, the bike, the laptop, the tools. Do the inventory. It takes an hour. It's the easiest hour of work you'll ever do for your own financial protection. Here's the bottom line. Your insurance policy pays based on what you can prove you lost. Not what you actually lost, what you can prove. The home inventory is the bridge between those two numbers. And on a bad day, it's the difference between a claim that makes you whole and a claim that leaves you arguing with an adjuster over a pair of shoes you can't remember buying. Most people will watch this video, agree that it's a good idea, and never do it. I understand why. It feels like a chore. It's not urgent, and the downside only shows up on the worst day of your life. But an afternoon of work on a Saturday stored in the cloud is one of the highest leverage things you can do as a homeowner or a renter. And if you won't do an afternoon, give it 10 minutes. Walk the house with your phone, film everything, upload it. That alone puts you ahead. It's free, it takes an afternoon. Do it this weekend. And if you want to talk through your home, condo, or renter's coverage, whether your current limits actually match what's in your house, whether anything should be scheduled, whether you're carrying the right deductible, we're Western Pacific Insurance. We're independent and we're licensed in Nevada, Arizona, California, and Utah. The quote link is below, and so is the link to our channel if you want to keep learning about how this stuff actually works. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.